everyone. I'm Debbie Stokes of Three Women Voices. Today, my special guest is a woman who has found her passion and purpose. She is energetic, intentional, and driven to tap into women who want more out of themselves and life, inspiring them to be you, do you, for you. Now, I introduce to you TASHA BUTLER, content creator, influencer, and podcaster. Hi, Tasha. How are you?
Hi, Debbie. I'm great. How are you?
I am fine. I'm so happy to have you here.
Yeah,
and let's get started.
Thank you.
Yes. Tell us a little bit about yourself first.
I am from Baltimore, Maryland. My background actually is in athletic training. I went to school, South University, to be an athletic trainer. And I feel like just being involved in so many extracurricular activities and different types of campus community organizations that just breeded my creativity and made me more interested in getting to know people and building a community. So I feel like that's what kind of got me into blogging. In addition to one of my best friends, she actually was the person who was like, no, Tasha, you talk a lot and you should really share your stories. So in 2016, I started my blog, The Regal Lady. 4 years later, here we are. We have a conference, Content Creator Con, and I'm just really enjoying life. I'm married. I have a husband. We'll be married for 3 years this week, and no children yet. But we are just living our lives together, and I'm just really happy to be here.
All right, and congratulations on your 3 years.
Thank you.
Yes. So now tell us, what drives you to do what you do?
Honestly, it's a passion for me. And for me, it's not so much trying to be an influencer or trying to get likes. I really just want to have conversations with people, and I really just want to build a community. So when it comes down to my content, I really think about things that interest me and then things that I feel like my community can benefit from. So if it's a product, this is something that I found to be helpful, let me share it with you. If it's an event, if it's a restaurant, if it's a hairstyle, those are the type of things that inspires my content, just to help other people.
What is your end goal as it relates to your dream?
Ooh, my end goal. So I have a ton of ideas, like a ton of ideas. I want to get into the tech world, and I want to create something that will bring content creators together without that pressure of social media, without the pressure of seeing likes and subscriber count and things like that. I want to get into creating more events for women, more curated events where we're going to maybe a road trip to another conference or another event. I want to get into ownership, real estate, creating some content creation studio homes. So I have a lot of things that I want to accomplish. We just got to stay committed, and we gotta get this funding for it.
Wow, that's awesome. So now, how important is it having a plan and setting goals to reaching them?
And I write out everything. So I have separate notebooks for each one of my ideas, just so when they come, I can jot it down. Okay. But I definitely feel like having goals and a plan helps you see the steps that you need to take to get to where you want. Sometimes if you don't have a plan, you can just be out here saying, oh, I wish, I want. But if you don't have the action to go behind it, then sometimes you can get lost in trying to accomplish those goals.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have a wonderful presence on social media.
Thank you.
What led you to wanting to go public with your life?
Well, ever since I was like a child, I always have been like the talker. Like at the lunch tables, I was always the one sharing stories. Like I've always been that girl. So naturally, I felt like I wanted to just create something. And then when the Regal Lady started, that actually started off as like a motivational blog post where it just was inspiration. Mm-hmm. But life isn't always inspiring. Sometimes we're not always motivated. Sometimes we have our highs and we have our lows, and I want it to be relatable to the people who I engage with on social media. So going from a private page to a public page and just sharing more of me, that's something that I'm still working on, because I feel like I am a private person, but I like to share a lot, but everything isn't for social media. So I feel like it's also finding balance between the two. But I feel like the more that I show myself and show my authenticity, I'm seeing that I'm able to connect with more women on a one-on-one basis.
So now, how did you grow to where you are today? How did you get to connect to people and engage and get them to engage with you?
It's just consistency, just being consistent and just being authentic and just being real. Because I know for me, I can sense when something isn't being authentic. I can sense when conversations are just sliding in your DMs just to see, you know, what I can benefit. I don't like transactional relationships or transactional conversations. You know, you give, I get. I don't like that. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
You know, because if that's what we're using social media for, to be social, let's be social. So for me, sometimes, even when I have posts that may not do well, I have to understand that it's not about how many people I can reach. It's about the people who are supposed to see it will receive it.
Yeah.
And that's what brings me comfort during those times when my content doesn't always show.
Yeah. Okay. So now, what are some mistakes you see? And I know you said you don't like transactional kind of posting. What are some other mistakes you see people make when they're trying to grow their social media?
Not being themselves. I feel like that is the biggest thing that I see in the blogger world and within the influencer world. I feel like there's a picture perfect ideal of what a blogger should look like. It should be the ha 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 and the, you know, the non-real things. I'm seeing a lot. And I think that once we take a step back from the curatedness and just creating around our reality, then that will make it more comfortable for creatives to express themselves and not get mixed up in the comparison game. Because I see that a lot. And I see, you know, people who have smaller followings, like a nano influencer or micro influencer, trying to emulate things that they may see a bigger blogger do, but you can tell it's not really them. Mm-hmm. I would just say, be yourself. Be yourself.
Yeah. Okay, so now, what are some pros and cons to being on social media?
Some pros I definitely would say are that you do have the capability to reach a magnitude of people. Mm-hmm. I have followers, and I even hate using the word followers, but I have social media friends.
Yes.
Yeah, I have social media friends in the audience, you know, who are on the West Coast. I have readers who are international. So I think that reach of social media is definitely a pro. Also, if you use advertisements in social media, I've discovered plenty of small-owned businesses just because their ads have popped up on my timeline. So I definitely feel like being able to increase your reach and being able to convert your audience from that are some benefits to social media. But on the other side, I feel like social media is becoming, we consume it too much. Mm-hmm. And I see the things that are placed on social media to keep our attention there. Mm-hmm. As we mentioned earlier, you know, so Instagram is always changing. So now we have Reels. We have, they had like the wellness guides. Mm-hmm. We have verses. Like, I don't know about you, but I was watching Patti LaBelle and Gladys Knight last night.
Yeah, me too.
Right, through Instagram. But now that means my screen time has increased to an additional 3 hours.
Yeah.
So I feel like we've become too attached to our phones, and social media is the culprit in that.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Tell us about your blog and your podcast and your brand, The Regal Lady. Where did that come from?
Well, The Regal Lady, actually, I started a hair company called Regal Lady Hair in 2015. And that came to me literally out of nowhere. Like, I was sitting on my parents' couch and like Regal popped in my mind. And I was like, oh, okay, Regal. Like, so what is a Regal Lady? How do I want a woman to feel when she wears my hair extensions? And I wanted her to be classy, confident, and compelling. And then just embodying that as a Regal Lady, I branched off and created my blog, you know, after you know, my best friend gave me the encouragement to just go ahead and do it. So now the Regal Lady really is just a lifestyle destination for millennial women on the move. So anything in connection with the Regal Lady is going to be for millennial women. It's going to be for the woman who has a 9-to-5, who's always hustling on the side, a lady who wants to live her best life. And for me, I'm learning that I can communicate differently across different platforms. So some things that I include on my blog, I may not include on my podcast.
Okay.
I'm understanding on my podcast, I can verbalize things in a better way than I can when I write it. So I'm able to connect with those who want to listen. I'm getting into more video content now for those people who like YouTube. So it's just really listening to your audience and understanding what they need. And for me, it was important for me to separate I am TASHA BUTLER from the Regal lady.
Okay.
Because I never want people to feel like I am the only Regal lady. Like, no, being a Regal lady is being yourself, being authentic to who you are. So as I am still growing my brand, I definitely want to make sure that I'm seen as TASHA BUTLER, the creator of the Regal Lady, of Content Creator Con, of other things, and then the Regal Lady is the brand for my people, people.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so now, how do you stay motivated and inspired?
That I feel like is more discipline. Like, you have to be disciplined because you won't always be motivated. For me, I would say 2020 has been a lot. 2020 has been a lot. So the motivation, the inspiration has been up and down. Some days I feel like posting. Some days I don't. And when I feel like I don't want to post, I won't. So again, just being authentic to yourself, because what I don't want to do is post something, have people engage, and then I ghost and disappear. So now I'm selling my audience short because I'm not there.
Right.
So for me, knowing those long-term goals and then focusing on that plan, but still understanding that I have to offer myself grace and feel those moments when I may not always be inspired. I have to fill my cup up before I can pour and fill anyone else's up.
Got you. So now, do you have mentors, and how important do you think it is for a person to have a mentor or mentors when they're trying to grow?
I wouldn't say that I have a mentor. I have done some coaching before with a prominent blogger who is amazing, but it's so much free information on the internet. There's a ton of free information on the internet. So Google is my mentor. Reading different blog posts from other bloggers and hearing what they say and hopping onto a webinar, that has been my mentorship. I do feel like it is good to have a mentor for your respective field, but within mentorship, you want to always make sure that you can give something as well. Yeah. That the person who is your mentor is willing to really teach you and not just sell something to you.
Got you. So now, with all that you have going on, wife, job, blogging, content creator, influencer, and an event host, how do you find time for me?
I make time for me.
Okay.
I don't find it. I make time. I have to. I absolutely have to, because your peace of mind is what's going to get you through everything. And if I don't have clarity, if I don't have peace, then I'm not going to be productive.
Okay.
And that's what I do. I have to make time. So on Sundays, nope, I'm in the bed. I'm waking up when I feel like waking up. On Saturdays, maybe that's my play day. Like, I'm really, Monday through Friday, I'm working. I don't answer phone calls after a certain time. I'm not checking my emails after a certain time, or I'm checking emails and scheduling them out for the next day. But I have to make sure that I'm good. And then I got to make sure my husband's good. So we're good. Because if we're not good, the relationship's not going to be good.
Right. So now, for women that's listening, give them some ways that they can practice self-care.
I feel like setting up your own space in your home, whether it's a corner, whether it's on the front porch, whether it's, I don't know, if you have 2 bathrooms, go into another bathroom, make that your sanctuary, but just finding a spot where you can just be. I would say that's my first suggestion. And then my next one is get out in nature. Get some fresh air. I'm noticing the more that I'm out, the better I feel. The more fresh air that I am. I have a tree. That's right. It's my favorite tree. I love laying underneath that tree. But I feel like get out in Mother Nature. Journaling. Listening to music that is soothing to yourself. Just finding things, really finding things that bring you peace, and just constantly doing those things.
Okay. So now, how do you find time to juggle being a full-time worker and then everything else?
Yeah, life is crazy. Life is crazy. I mean, even with 2020, so I said this is the best, worst year ever for me. So as I mentioned, I'm an athletic trainer, but since the schools are closed right now, I haven't been working full time as an athletic trainer in the schools. I've been doing more PRN work with that on my weekends.
Okay.
And recently I also enrolled into school. So I'm taking some classes. So my schedule literally is just constantly changing. But I feel like I've always been that type of girl where I need something to do. Even in high school, I held this position and that position. Like I've always juggled a lot of things.
Okay.
But definitely writing it down, creating a schedule, and committing to it. Whatever it is that you want to do, you have to commit to it. So they always say Beyonce has 24 hours in a day. What's our excuse?
Okay. So now, what are some major life lessons that you've learned thus far in life, love, growth, happiness, all of that?
Yeah, just like my motto, be you, do you, for you. That is like everything. Like once you find out who you are and discover yourself, just be yourself and do whatever you need to do to make you happy. Because if you're walking around with this negative dark cloud over you, you're giving that energy off to other people. And I don't know about you, but I don't want that. I can sense it from a mile away. I don't want that.
Okay.
Being truthful, like owning your truth and speaking and living in your truth. And that's something that I'm still learning as I am maturing and as I am stepping, I guess, more into adulthood, just being truthful to myself and not compromising that to make other people feel comfortable. My truth shouldn't offend you. My truth shouldn't make you feel any type of way. This is my life. So just really be you, do you, for you. That is my biggest life lesson.
Okay. So now what would be a surprise for people to find out about you that they didn't know?
A surprise? A surprise. Oh, I feel like a surprise would be, it sounds bad, but I really don't be on social media like that.
Okay.
I really don't, because it can become a lot. So I have a timer on my phone on how much my daily activity can be. I try to keep up with a lot of people within the blogger world and the blogger community, but again, I just have to focus on what I have to focus on and build with the people who want to build as well.
Okay, now I know you have an upcoming project called the Content Creator Conference. Tell us about that, and then what's next for you?
Yeah, so Content Creator Con, that is my baby. I birthed that last year.
And let's welcome TASHA Butler.
The inaugural event. And basically, I wanted to create something. I was receiving a lot of messages from my audience on social media, like, well, how do you create this? What do you think about that? So I actually took all of those questions and built an entire conference around it.
Okay.
Last year, we had 4 workshops, a fireside chat, and a keynote speaker. This year, we were going bigger and better.
See you in 2020.
We did have to push it because of COVID, but that just gives us more time to make the conference even better. Next year, we're going to have 2 learning tracks. So I have a creative learning track, and we have a creator learning track. One is going to be geared towards bloggers, content creators, podcasters, and the creators track is going to be more for like the marketers, digital media people, business owners, so they can learn different tools that they can use to successfully run their business and workflows. We have an amazing lineup. Our keynote speaker, Ty Alexander, who's also in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm really, really, really excited. So for Content Creator Con, I really just want women to just come, have an open mind, be open to making friends, learn something. That's my biggest goal. I never want to create a conference or an event where the goal has not been met. Okay. So my event isn't just going to be about taking pictures. It's not going to be just about having fun and dancing. You're going to walk away with valuable, tangible lessons that you can apply to your brand and to your business.
Okay, sounds wonderful.
I can't wait.
And I'm coming.
Yes.
Yes. So now, do you have anything else other than that's in the works?
Well,
Or do you have something that you can talk about?
right. Well, once life opens back up, I do
Yeah.
want to, like I said, get into more traveling events. So I foresee some Regal Lady road trips.
Okay.
Possibly happening when life is normal again, but definitely more community based, more things to get us out, get us involved, and take us off of social media and build, in person, really that community feel.
Okay. Next to the last question, give me one short sentence that describes Tasha Butler.
I am invincible.
All right.
That's it.
Boom.
That's it. I am
Yes.
invincible. I can do anything that I want to do.
Yes. Okay. So, last question. Can you give some last words of empowerment for women to help them in their lives?
Yeah, I would say really just take time to discover who you are. Once you discover who you are, I feel like the pieces of the puzzle will fall in. Never be afraid to be yourself. You don't owe anything, anybody. You owe it all to yourself to live your best life. So never dim your light. Never put negative energy onto other people, because that is a reflection of ourselves. And once we understand that, then I feel like we're able to uplift ourselves and uplift other women. So really just honing in on who you are, being true to who you are, and just being a good person. Just being.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Tasha.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate being on here with you today, Debbie.
Yes. And if anybody wanted to reach out to you, how can they reach you?
Yes, well, you can head over to theregallady.com. Be sure to subscribe while there. And you can also follow me on social media, Instagram and Twitter at I am Tasha Butler. On Pinterest, YouTube, and another Instagram page is The Regal Lady at The Regal Lady. And then we also have Content Creator Conference Instagram page and contentcreatorcon.com. So if you head over to theregallady.com, you'll see links and social media icons that will connect you with everything. But definitely start there, and be sure to follow me at I am Tasha Butler on Instagram.
All right, busy woman. Okay, so I want to thank everybody for watching. If you want to reach out to Three Women Voices, you can reach us at threewomenvoices.com. My email address is threewomenvoices@gmail.com. And I'm on Instagram at _3_Women Voices. And I'm on Facebook at _3 Women Voices. And I thank you for watching.